Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Sunday, September the 19th, the year's 2021. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly open and gap. These videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. Okay, so we're starting off the week, and we're already 37 pips below the weekly open on the pound, and we have a handful of gaps that haven't filled. And the pound gapped up and then it filled it on the way down. As you can see, we're flirting with the 3,700 level. We're putting in the opening range for the week. As you can see, we're actually in the opening range for the year, just nestling in there, 60 pips above the yearly open. And Wednesday of this week, we have FOMC, so that should be interesting. Once again, 61 pips above the yearly open. We haven't hit the pivot, and there's another missed pivot up there. We are in the inside bar, the weekly inside bar from 4 weeks ago, still in the monthly inside bar from a month ago, 115 pips below the low of the daily inside bar from 10 days ago. And obviously today is not going to be an inside bar. And looks like there's some sparse inside bar action here on the other pairs. 46 pips on the day. No pairs over 100 to be expected at this time of day. Notice here, I'm just looking at this level. We've got some wicks. Might touch that level and turn around. Technically, I do believe we've got an order block here for the order block traders. Haven't talked much about order blocks. I just like to talk about highs and lows and opens and closes, simple stuff. Once again, we missed the pivot. We're 58 pips below it at this point in time. Range is really on the low side for the green rats, but if you're more ambitious than I am, it's definitely green rat opportunity here. We missed the pivot here, and here's the monthly pivot. We've already taken that out a few times. Oh, pivot trading plan, let's see. Near S1, bias is long. We'll see what happens from here on out. Monthly missed pivots, none. Weekly, we've got one here at 37.94, which is this week. And once again on the daily, we've got this one missed. And we've got this one missed here from June the 17th. In and out of that lower wick zone. And we looked at the ranges from last week. You can see here, we actually got to the 66 level. We had a 177 pip range last week, which is above the average of the past 12 weeks. High minus previous high. As you can see here, we didn't break out, but we did break below by 35 pips this week so far. High minus the close is 43 for the rats, and close minus the low is 3. And once again, just looking at simple price action here at the psychological levels. So you can see here we hit the 25, just trading with the D1 candle color would you'd be up, what, 22 pips at the moment. So once again, simple trading. In fact, somebody asked how to trade. I can't remember what it was. They asked me out on YouTube. But I remember. It was the London breakout. It's like, and I replied on the video, it's like any other breakout. So you could say when prices between any of these two lines, it's going to break out. So it opened between the 50 and the 25. It failed to break out at a 50, so it's coming down. So you would go short here. That's all a breakout is. That's how you would trade it. You put your stop loss, you adjust you know what your risk is, and you set your position size and stop loss accordingly. It's not that difficult. So I'm not sure exactly what the trader was expecting as an answer, but there's no real other analysis that needs to be done. It's like, okay, you're going to do the London breakout. It's kind of like the opening range breakout. Same thing when we look at the opening range for the week, the month, the year, it's the same thing. Whatever color price is at the line, depending on what time frame you're using, you trade with it. Usually on the breakouts like this one, I just picked the D1, but you could do it with H1 just the same. You could do it with H4. It doesn't really matter. That's the beauty of it. But if we come back and here, once again, we had this is the opening range for the month. So right here at 37.30, the daily candle was red. You just take the short right there. And now we've already, and you want to only do it for the first line it comes to. So like on the London breakout, you only have 2 lines. But if you have multiple lines, then it's the first 2. The first one where it would be green and the first one where it would be red. That's where you would take the trade. You don't wait for it to go past the line. If you do, you've kind of missed the trade. You're leaving pips on the table that you could be picking up. And looks like we're trying to make a new low, only 1 pip off of that low. We're in the second half of the hour here. It might do a reversal. Let's see, we can look at M5. You see there was a little push up. Well, we can look at the higher low, lower high. You see here, it looks like we pushed above, well, that lower high here. And it was probably good for a couple of pips. And a lot of times if you're going against the H1 and the D1, you might only grab a pip or 2. Don't push your luck. If you're going with it, or if it's running and it's running, then you can stay in the trade. But I mean, even here you can see it came up, pushed down a little bit more, then it ran up. It's kind of like, let's take the money off the table. Let's not push our luck, because you can see what happens. And so now you get a second opportunity. But once again, take those pips while you can. Don't sit there and let them slip through your fingers. Now, I think there might have been another question out there, but I can't remember what that one was. I think it had something to do with a donational indicator or something. I can't recall at the moment, but I do believe I answered it online. I'm trying to remember what else I noticed. Traders. I think there was a trader that's still having a little problems with the wall mall method. And sometimes I think some people have a tendency to try and prove something wrong as opposed to learning how to make it work for them. And I noticed that a lot. There's a lot of people out there, no matter what you do, people tell you you're wrong or it can't be done and all this. And then, but you're out there doing it. And that's all that matters. So right there, I see there's an opportunity to take a quick 2 pips. It might bust through higher. But you just never know. So for example, let's say you're trading and you just started and maybe you picked up a couple of pips here. Now you've got 2 more. So you can have 4 pips, and let's say you want to make 10 pips a day. Well, you're 40% of the way there. If this thing runs all the way up here and you missed out, that's okay, because there'll be another opportunity. I mean, watching these screens, for hours and hours, there's plenty of opportunities. You just have to wait patiently. And then when you get your trigger, take your trigger. Don't second guess it. Don't be late. Because if you miss this by a pip, that's the difference. That could be the difference between profit or loss. And see here, it ran up to 3. Now, let's say you already had your 10 pips for the day. This is where maybe you have the stop at break even +1, and you see if it pushes through, because it was like, yeah, if it can break through this level, it's probably going to go. And right there you see we got a 4.5, but let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 bull candles in a row. I don't know if I want to push my luck. And let's see what happens. We've got a couple more minutes left in the video. So price is stalled, nothing much is happening here. So it's either going to push up and make a new high, or it's going to reverse a new high. I'll push this 2-ball higher, not a new daily high. So in this little run here, it's either going to make a higher high or not. And for the imbalanced traders, you can see from here to here, there's an imbalance being created. We've got 8 seconds. One of the things on these candles I've noticed, sometimes if you wait till about 1 second before they end, then you take your trade, you might get the Megillah of the profit, because you don't want to give too much back. And sometimes when these candles open, they could drop 2 pips in the blink of an eye, and you just gave back half your gains. So we still have about another minute or so left in the video, so we can watch this candle close and see what happens. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green or 5 bulls in a row. See, if it breaks this low, chances are it's toast. Can widen that out a bit. 37.05. So we've got an inside bar here. So let's see which way it breaks. Could break both ways. So for example, we had an inside bar here, it broke to the upside. So let's see, does it push up? No, it broke to the downside. Now it broke to the upside. So that's it. That's what happens when you trade. So you have to make the decision. You got 4 pips that you could take. So if you were up 4 and your goal's 10, hey, take that 4. You should be able to make 2, not give any back. So fellow traders, hope some of that helped. Hope you had a fun and safe weekend. And if you haven't done it already, please hit subscribe. And when you come back and watch these videos, click the like button. I'm just wondering why I'm not getting more views with the content. Maybe they don't like my voice. I don't know. So anyway, just remember when you sit down at your trading platform, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One over.